Hey everybody, you're watching Cole the Cornstar. As always, remember if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button.
It's the day after the big storm. Just driving around the neighborhood, it just kind of puts you at a loss. You just don't know what to do or where to start. We're kind of at that place, at our place here. But the neighbor was able to find us a generator for Cole's place. It was the last one they had. So I thank our neighbor Justin for picking that up for us. I'm gonna get it hooked up here at Cole's place. Main thing right now is we're trying to get his refrigerator working and deep freezer. And then we're gonna, I think, tackle the windows up above. We're gonna have to try to get something in there to keep the rain from coming in the house. So I know our neighbor and a couple of younger boys are coming over to help do that. I'm just trying to think, like I said, just at a loss right now. You know, we got the bin down, our big one. Our big machine shed has some damage that we put corn in. A lot of the co-ops around here got a lot of bin damage. Yeah, it upsets me with what happened to our place, worrying about harvest and everything. There's a lot of places even 10 times worse than ours. Normally you see it on the news, you feel horrible, but when it hits you and your neighbors and friends, it hits you even more at home. We're gonna look at the upside. Everybody's okay. I haven't heard of my tongue stuck. I haven't heard of any injuries, so that is a huge plus. That's enough talking. We need to get this generator hooked up. Let's get things started here. What we got going right now, me and Justin, we're bringing plywood over to try to get the windows covered up so the rain won't blow in the attic. So it's kind of something we figure we better be getting done, because if it keeps raining, it's going to ruin a lot of ceilings in Cole's house. Hey Justin, do you want me to bring a cord up, drop it through the window, and then we can do some of the cutting up here?
Probably could.
It would be
easier than walking down every time.
Now there's a good look. The color contrast just blends perfectly. Now as everyone can see from these down tree branches behind me, we have some storm cleanup to do. First things first, I'm gonna start with the boring part that nobody wants to do, because if I don't do it, nobody's gonna do it. And that job is picking up broken glass. The reason why I say it, if I don't do it now, nobody's gonna do it. Number one, the grass is gonna start growing really tall through all this, and it's really hard to find small pieces of glass when the grass is tall. Second reason is everyone's gonna start walking through there, driving stuff through there, and it's gonna break that glass up into really tiny pieces. I'd rather pick up a big chunk than 100 tiny chunks.
Gonna run Justin and Austin. We're gonna climb up on the roof here and see what it looks like on the big machine shed. We need to try to get that ready for corn this fall. Holy cow, he's first time, but he's doing good. Probably look worse than we think, maybe. A lot more holes in it than I thought there was gonna be. The whole distance, ain't it?
That side's not as bad.
No, but it's still. Our insurance man called a little bit ago. Super nice guy. Sounds like his phone is ringing off the hook. I'm gonna go in the building here now and take some pictures and stuff so he kind of knows what we're gonna be up to. Probably 90 feet worth of our roof in the big machine shed that we put corn in, we're gonna have to tear apart. I know once we get started on it, maybe it won't be as bad as it looked, but we got some rafters broke too that we're gonna have to redo. That's gonna take a little time, but Justin, our neighbor, our good friend, he's the boss when he's here. So now I gotta go out and see if I can get materials, hopefully this week yet, so this coming weekend we can try to get a group of people, get started on it. If it wasn't for needing it for the corn, I probably wouldn't be sweating so bad, but we're gonna be hurting for storage a little bit now, so that's what I'm worried about. I don't know if you can see, but from about straight above me, almost 90 feet worth is damaged. So we're gonna have to just tear all the tin off. Insulation, we got insulation board up underneath this roof so it don't drip when the weather changes on us. We don't want moisture dripping on our corn and stuff. The over sliding doors and whatever, we can wait on them. Yes, they're bowed in and stuff, but I think we can wait till after harvest or next spring on them Main goal is to get this thing done so we can start pumping corn in here.
Got one side of the house completely clean. I will admit, I got a little sidetracked while I was over here since we got a really nice rain the other day. The top ground was really soft and this part of the lawn was super wavy. So I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to take the dirt bucket on the skid loader and kind of level that out. It's definitely not perfect yet, but by the time I run the real disc across this and then do one last pass with the skid loader to smooth out any low or high spots, it's gonna look really good. I initially didn't want to take the time to do that because I want to get moving on with this cleanup stuff, but I figured, you know what, I'm gonna have to be doing this at some point anyway, because in like 2 weeks we're gonna be seeding the yard. At least none of my junk got blown away. Still bummed out that that tree got destroyed. There is a lot of small growth on the snapped off areas, so we're hoping over time those will bush out and it'll look like a normal tree again. For the next few years it's gonna look wonky.
I was just sitting there thinking, and I was walking across the yard here at Cole's, and I noticed something that looks kind of fun. And I know, sometimes you just got to do some fun stuff to let some of the stress off. Take a look, Neva's dirt bike. I might just take it for a quick little spin. I was just sitting there thinking, you know, like the co-ops around here, we got a lot of elevators that lost a lot of bins, and a lot of us farmers kind of count on bringing our extra bushels there, or there's a lot of farmers that bring all their crops there. In the past, the elevators and the co-ops and stuff, I don't know how they do it, but they go beyond. Somehow they make things work out. We just got to sit back, let them get their plans of attack. They're probably lost more than all of us trying to figure out what to do. I was just looking in the background. I have 3 fans today. Yay! I thought I'd take a little journey up the grain leg, take a look at stuff, see how the corn and stuff looks around from up. I got a ways to go yet. I ran out of energy, so I decided to stop, take a little break, look around. Hard to tell. I mean, this corn here actually looks like from up here standing pretty good, but you can kind of see some little dips there. That's where some corn's flattened down. The jury's out yet on this. Some of these little stalks might kind of come up a little bit. I know there's some fields around the neighborhood that looks pretty flat. I don't know if it will come back up or not, but let's go up a little higher. It's a little funny man down there. It looks like Cole. Okay, we're on top of the grain leg. We actually needed to come up here anyhow. I just wanted to double check, make sure everything's okay on the leg. You can kind of see where Cole's been working out in the grove. I don't know if we can see this very good or not. Some of the corn across the road is laying down pretty bad. We got a neighbor over here that cornfield, man, I hate to even look at it, but it's laying pretty flat to the ground. You can see a lot of areas real flat. This is our field right here. You can see some corn kind of laying down, but it seems like straight ahead of us does not look too bad. They claim the winds that went through here the other day, I've heard anywhere from 100 to 110 miles per hour. Wouldn't it been something to be on top of the grain leg riding through that? Woo doggy! Somewhere in that tree is Cole. We better get out of his way because we don't want to get hit by that chunk. These little branches are small. There's a lot of people around us that lost full-size, great big trees. Hey, found a screwdriver. Like Cole said, he is so glad he ripped all them other trees down in the yard. And if you remember that great big one that was over here in the corner of his house, them trees were kind of had rotten spots in them and getting pretty weak. They would have been laying all over out in his yard. He lost a bunch out in the grove that are all busted up. Now we are really glad that we took these big old pine trees down because they were sticking up there probably 100 120 feet in the air. I didn't realize we had branches down here. It's kind of nice to have some trees in your yard, but when you get a big storm like this, and then you're spending days cleaning up, maybe it's just all right to have a yard with no trees in it. Ah! This is one reason we kind of like skid loaders with tracks. They get a lot more traction than rubber wheels. Maybe I shouldn't have started the fire already. I got smoke blowing right at Cole. Starting to get a little heat to it now. Mama Cornstar just sent me a text. It is supper time, meaning it's time to eat. I always take time to eat. I'll see if I can get Cole's attention. He's the slowpoke. He's the type that says, I'll be there in an hour. 2 hours later, I'll be there in an hour. I know when a guy's working, we get carried away with time. I'm telling him it's supper time, and he goes, one more. So he's got one more tree branch, so we're gonna walk up the house. This is one of the neighbor's cornfields. These are the fields that nobody likes. Most of it is laying down or snapped off. One thing about a crop, you never know what you got till it is in the bin and the bin lid is closed. Normally on a good year, it seems like The crop is a bin buster 10 times, and it is a crop failure 10 times. So it kind of plays a roller coaster with you. Now this year when you got corn like that, it's kind of flat. It's just a helpless feeling, I guess. So much work, so much energy, sweat. Sometimes blood. You've seen me cut my finger before, so you know sometimes blood goes into this stuff too. It doesn't matter if you're a farmer or whatever job it is. When things don't work out the way that you were hoping it would work out, it just kind of hits you there. Hey, if we're kind of blabbing around a little bit lately, just kind of bear with us. A lot going on. We're going to get through it. And you know, that's one thing about farming. If farming was so easy and stuff, I guess everybody would do it. So they kind of say it takes a little different breed out here. That's us. That's us. We're going to do it. We're going to make it.